started a new playlist about knives a while back, and so far I guess I only have one video in it, which was the one about carbon steel field knives. Just kind of an introductory video. And someone commented on that video and asked for more information about this particular knife. Railroad spike knife. Okay, here's the story. You know, I've been going to Smoky Mountains since I was a kid, and starting at a fairly early age, as in, I guess, preteen, I have always made it a tradition to get at least one knife on every trip to the Smokies. And so nowadays I always go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works in Sevierville, Tennessee. And I used to go to the Acorn in Gatlinburg, but I guess that one's closed now, but Smoky Mountain Knife Works is better anyway. But a few years ago we were there, and Smoky Mountain Knife Works, there is a small shop detached from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, but in the same parking lot. And there's something there now. I didn't go in there this year, so I don't know if it's the same shop or if it's a different business that's in there now or what. But it is, I believe, still a custom knife maker. But like I said, I don't know if it's the same one that it was. But we went in that shop a few years ago, and it was at that time a custom knife shop. And this knife caught my eye, and the proprietor was telling me about it. And he told me something I didn't know, which is that railroads use HC spikes in some applications, such as on tight bends, because they're stronger. They have a higher carbon content than normal railroad spikes. And he said those HC spikes make good knives. And these are some of the knives that he was making, I guess, or actually I think maybe someone he knows here in Alabama, in fact, was making them, if I remember correctly. And he was selling them for that guy. But anyway, before he told me about this, I wasn't even aware that there were any high carbon railroad spikes, which I just looked it up. I've looked it up before for more information about them, and I just looked it up again to refresh myself as to the information as to the carbon content of them and everything. And what I read is that they're not actually high carbon, they're higher carbon than the standard mild steel spikes. So they are about somewhere in the neighborhood of 27 to, or 0.27 to 0.35%, I think, carbon. So that would put it at about, I guess you would call it a 1030 carbon steel. So it's a medium carbon, and it's less carbon than your typical 1045, which is used for axe heads and so on. 1045 is axes and hatchets. 1055 is what a machete will often be made of, and lots of knives are made of 1095, which is 0.95%. And so it's harder than, you know, your typical mild steel, but it's probably not going to hold an edge extremely well, but it'll be a tough knife though, so, and easy to resharpen. And anyway, I liked that. I really liked the blade shape of it, and just, you know, the overall, that's a blade profile that I like, and it's got a good edge on it. And so I was looking at it. I wasn't going to buy it though, but my wife bought it for me. So it comes with a really nice sheath too, and it's just been, for me, a collector's item, but I haven't really used it. But I think it would make a pretty good hard use knife. But actually though, in looking at it and reading about the carbon content and so on, I think that an HC spike would actually make a really good tomahawk, because, you know, it already has like a hammerhead, or what could be used as a hammerhead for driving tent spikes or whatever, and you could quite easily forge a tomahawk blade, hatchet blade, into it, and that would be a good steel, I believe, for that. So I might consider actually making one of those, because I've been kind of wanting, you know, I look at tomahawks all the time, not all the time, but somewhat regularly, and generally speaking, the cheap ones are cast steel, which I don't like. And plus, I look at them and I say, hey, I can make my own, you know. So I need to actually get down to it and make one instead of procrastinating. But anyway, there's the railroad spike knife and the story behind it. And that's going to go in the playlist. And keep watching, because I was just at Smoky Mountains and Smoky Mountain Knife Works last month, and I picked up a couple of knives there, one of which is carbon steel, and so I plan to make a video about that soon. Anyway, keep watching, and check out that playlist. Thank you.